What if I told you looking rich could actually be one of the fastest ways to become poor? Sounds strange, right? We spend our entire lives being taught to do the opposite. Get the nice car, wear the expensive clothes, buy the bigger house, upgrade your phone, show people that you've made it. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The more money you spend trying to look wealthy, the less money you may actually have to become wealthy. And that's why sometimes looking poor is one of the smartest financial decisions you can make. Let's meet two people. We'll call them Alex and Daniel. Alex earns $120,000 a year. He drives a $70,000 luxury car. He lives in a beautiful apartment. He wears expensive clothes. His phone is always the newest model. When people see Alex, they assume he's doing really well. Now meet Daniel. Daniel also earns $120,000, but he drives a 7-year-old car. He wears simple clothes. He lives in a comfortable but ordinary apartment. He doesn't care about having the latest phone. If you saw both men walking down the street, you'd probably assume Alex is richer. But let's look underneath the surface. Alex has $8,000 in savings, $42,000 in car debt, $15,000 in credit card and personal debt. Daniel has $80,000 in savings and investments, no consumer debt, and another $150,000 invested for retirement. So, who is actually wealthy? The person who looks rich? Or the person who has financial options? This is one of the most important ideas in personal finance. Wealth is often invisible. What you can see is what someone spends. What you can't see is what they keep. A $100,000 car is visible. A $100,000 investment account isn't. A luxury house is visible. A paid-off mortgage isn't. Designer clothes are visible. A 6-month emergency fund isn't. And that's why judging someone's wealth by their lifestyle can be incredibly misleading. Looking rich and being rich are two completely different things. This is called lifestyle inflation. You earn more, so you spend more. Then you earn even more, so you spend even more. And eventually, your lifestyle becomes so expensive that you need your high income just to maintain it. You aren't building wealth, you're maintaining an image. And that's dangerous. Because the moment your income stops, the lifestyle becomes difficult to maintain. And social media makes this psychological trap even stronger. Every day, we're shown people who appear successful. Someone is buying a $2 million house. Someone is driving a Ferrari. Someone is taking a private jet. Someone claims they made $50,000 from an investment. And your normal life suddenly feels small. You start thinking, maybe I'm behind. But here's what you don't see. You don't see their mortgage. You don't see their credit card balance. You don't see the years of work behind the photograph. You don't see the financial help they received. And you certainly don't see the moments when the camera is turned off. Social media gives you the highlight. It doesn't give you the balance sheet. One of the most expensive sentences in personal finance is, "I deserve it." You worked hard. You got a raise. You had a difficult month. So you tell yourself, I deserve the new phone. I deserve the expensive vacation. I deserve the luxury car. And sometimes, you absolutely do deserve to enjoy your money. Money isn't meant to make you miserable, but here's the question. Do you want the thing, or do you want the feeling you think the thing will give you? Because those are very different. Here's another psychological trick. When you buy something impressive, the excitement usually fades. At first, the new car feels amazing. Then it's just your car. The expensive watch feels special. Then it's just the watch on your wrist. The luxury apartment feels incredible. Then it becomes home. So, you buy something else. And something else. And something else. This creates a dangerous cycle. Buy, feel good, get used to it, want more, buy again. And the cycle can continue forever. Unless you decide that you've had enough. This is why one of the most powerful financial decisions you can make is defining what enough means to you. Enough doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean never enjoying life. It means deciding, I don't need to spend more just because I can. Maybe enough is a reliable car, maybe enough is a comfortable home, maybe enough is 2 good vacations a year, maybe enough is having $50,000 invested. Your definition of enough is personal, and once you know it, you become much harder to manipulate. Let's make this practical. Imagine you decide not to upgrade your car. Instead of spending an extra $700 every month, you invest that money. That's $8,400 a year. Over several years, with investment growth, those contributions could become a meaningful amount of wealth. The exact result will depend on returns and time. But the principle is simple. Money you don't spend can become money you invest. And money you invest can potentially generate more money. Meanwhile, the person spending that $700 every month gets something else, a newer car. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's important to understand the trade. Every financial decision has an opportunity cost. This is what I call quiet wealth. Quiet wealth doesn't need an audience. It doesn't need likes. It doesn't need compliments. It doesn't need strangers to know how successful you are. Quiet wealth looks like having an emergency fund, investing every month, avoiding high-interest debt, living below your means, buying things you can actually afford, and having enough money that an unexpected bill doesn't destroy your life. Nobody may notice. And that's okay, because financial security isn't a performance. Now, let's be clear. Looking poor doesn't mean being cheap about everything. That's not the lesson. You shouldn't refuse every experience. You shouldn't be afraid to spend money. You shouldn't spend your entire life saving for a future that may never arrive. Money is a tool, and tools are meant to be used. Go on the vacation. Take your family to dinner. Buy something you genuinely enjoy. The difference is intention. Spend because it brings value to your life, not because you need strangers to think you're successful. Before making a major purchase, ask yourself 3 questions. Question 1. Would I still want this if nobody could see it? If the answer is no, you may be buying status instead of value. Question 2. Can I comfortably afford it without damaging my financial goals? If buying it means taking on expensive debt or stopping your investments, the price may be higher than the sticker says. Question 3. What am I giving up by spending this money? Because $20,000 spent today isn't just $20,000. It could have been invested. It could have paid down expensive debt. It could have built an emergency fund. It could have bought you options. And here's the biggest irony. The ultimate financial flex isn't driving the most expensive car. It isn't wearing a $10,000 watch. It isn't living in the biggest house on the street. The ultimate flex is not being financially trapped. It's having enough savings to walk away from a bad job. It's having investments working while you sleep. It's being able to handle a $5,000 emergency. It's being able to help someone you love. It's having choices. That's a kind of wealth nobody can see from across the street. Every time you choose between spending and saving, you're voting for a future version of yourself. You can choose to impress people today, or you can choose to give your future self more freedom tomorrow. And sometimes, the smartest decision is the one nobody notices. Driving the older car, wearing the simple clothes, living in the smaller home, investing the difference, and quietly watching your financial life improve. So, why is looking poor so important? Because appearances can be expensive. The world rewards visible success. But wealth rewards invisible habits. Nobody applauds you for not upgrading your car. Nobody gives you a trophy for investing $500 every month. Nobody knows that you quietly paid off your credit card. Nobody sees your emergency fund growing. But years from now, those invisible decisions can become visible freedom. And that's the goal. Not to look rich, not to impress strangers, not to win a competition you never agreed to enter. The goal is to become financially free. So the next time someone asks, why don't you have a nicer car? Why don't you live in a bigger house? Why don't you buy the expensive version? You don't have to explain. You can simply smile. Because maybe you're not falling behind. Maybe you're building something they can't see yet. Your savings, your investments, your freedom, your future. And remember, looking rich can impress people for a moment. Being wealthy can change your life for decades. If you want more simple, practical lessons about money, investing, and building wealth, subscribe to Mr. Good Finance. Because here, we don't just learn how to make more money. We learn how to keep it, grow it, and use it to build a better life. Learn, invest, grow your wealth. I'll see you in the next one.